My friend, life is a journey filled with highs and lows, victories and challenges. But let me tell you today, you were created for greatness. You have everything within you to keep pushing forward, to keep dreaming, to keep believing. The key is learning how to stay motivated, not just in the good times, but even when things don't seem to be going your way. Because when you stay motivated, doors open, opportunities come, and you step into the life you were meant to live. Well, you have to see yourself victorious in your mind before it happens in reality. Too often people wait until they see the evidence before they believe, but that's not how it works. You have to believe it before you see it. When you close your eyes, picture yourself walking in that new job, living in that dream home, accomplishing that goal you've been working toward. See yourself strong, healthy, confident, and full of joy. If you don't see it in your imagination first, you'll never step into it in reality. The truth is, what you focus on, you move toward. If you focus on the obstacles, the struggles, the things that haven't worked out, you'll feel stuck, discouraged, and unmotivated. But if you focus on the possibilities, the opportunities, the doors that are about to open, you'll find new strength rising up inside of you. You'll wake up with expectation instead of frustration, with enthusiasm instead of dread. Some people have trained their minds to expect defeat. They wake up thinking about everything that could go wrong. They rehearse the past failures, the disappointments, the delays, but that kind of thinking only drains your motivation. You have to retrain your mind. Start seeing yourself the way you were meant to be, successful, thriving, blessed. Picture yourself making progress every single day, no matter how small. If you can hold it in your imagination, you can hold it in your hands. The key is to keep that vision in front of you. Maybe you need to put reminders where you can see them. A picture of that dream, a note with your goal written down, a message that reminds you who you are. Keep speaking it, keep believing it, and before long, you'll be living it. You have to see yourself winning long before it happens. Success isn't something that just falls into place by accident. It starts in your mind. Before the opportunity comes, before the breakthrough happens, you have to already picture yourself walking in victory. Your mind is like a magnet. Whatever you consistently focus on, you will attract into your life. If you constantly see yourself struggling, losing, or coming up short, then that's exactly what will happen. But when you shift your mindset, when you start seeing yourself rising higher, overcoming obstacles, and stepping into new levels, you are setting yourself up for success. Think about an athlete before a big competition. They don't just show up and hope they perform well. They train their minds before they ever step on the field. They visualize themselves winning, standing on the podium, hearing the applause. They've already played it out in their minds 1,000 times before it happens. And because they've already won the battle mentally, they go out there and give it everything they've got. That's the kind of mindset you need to have. You may not see the results yet, but when you close your eyes, you should see yourself achieving that goal, getting that promotion, overcoming that challenge, walking in favor. The problem is, too many people allow their past disappointments and setbacks to cloud their vision. They've been through tough times, so they assume that's how it's always going to be. They replay the failures, the mistakes, the moments where things didn't work out, and it becomes their reality. But you can't let your history determine your destiny. Just because something didn't work out before doesn't mean it won't work out now. You have to change the picture in your mind. Stop seeing yourself stuck, struggling, or not good enough, and start seeing yourself thriving, successful, and full of purpose. When you keep a vision of victory in front of you, it changes the way you act, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself. You walk with confidence because you know where you're going. You wake up with excitement because you know something good is coming your way. You keep pushing forward even when things get tough because you know that this is just a temporary challenge on the way to your breakthrough. So what are you seeing today? Are you seeing yourself winning, growing, and stepping into new levels? Or are you seeing yourself stuck, barely getting by, or struggling? If you're not seeing yourself winning, it's time to change the picture. Start imagining yourself living in the fullness of what's possible. Hold that vision in your heart, speak it out, and walk toward it with faith. Because when you can see it, when you truly believe it, nothing can stop you from achieving it. Your mind is one of the most powerful tools you have. And if you're not careful, negativity will creep in and steal your motivation, your joy, and your confidence. Every day you have a choice. You can either feed your mind with thoughts of faith, strength, and possibility, or you can allow doubt, fear and negativity to take over. The thoughts you allow to take root will determine the direction of your life. Negativity doesn't always show up as something obvious. Sometimes it's subtle. It's that little voice that whispers, "You're not good enough. You'll never succeed. Things will never change." It's the doubt that tells you to settle where you are instead of reaching for something greater. If you're not careful, those thoughts can become your reality. You start believing them, and before you know it, they shape the way you see yourself and your future. That's why you have to guard your mind like a gatekeeper. You wouldn't let just anyone walk into your house and start making a mess, would you? Then don't let just any thought take up space in your mind. The moment a negative thought tries to creep in, replace it with something positive. Instead of thinking, "I can't do this," tell yourself, "I am equipped. I am strong. I am more than capable." Instead of saying, "Nothing ever works out for me," say, "Everything is working together for my good." When you take control of your thoughts, you take control of your life. Be mindful of what you expose yourself to. The news, social media, even certain conversations can plant seeds of fear and doubt. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, it's going to be hard to stay motivated. But when you fill your mind with uplifting words, encouraging people, and thoughts of faith, you'll feel a new strength rising inside of you. Sometimes the biggest source of negativity comes from people around you. There will always be voices telling you what you can't do, why it's impossible, and why you should give up. But you don't have to accept every opinion. If someone is constantly speaking defeat over you, learn to tune them out. Surround yourself with people who push you forward, who remind you of your potential, who speak life into your dreams. The battle for your motivation starts in your mind. You can't control everything that happens around you, but you can control what you choose to focus on. Guard your mind, keep your thoughts positive, and watch how your life starts to change for the better. The people you surround yourself with have a powerful influence on your mindset, your motivation, and ultimately your destiny. You can have big dreams, incredible potential, and all the talent in the world, but if you're constantly around negative, discouraging, or complacent people, it's going to be difficult to stay motivated. The right people will push you forward, while the wrong people will hold you back. Think about an eagle. It was designed to soar high, to fly above the storms, to reach incredible heights. But imagine if that eagle spent all its time with chickens, pecking at the ground, never stretching its wings, never realizing what it was truly capable of. Some people are like those chickens. They stay stuck in small thinking, in fear, in excuses. And if you spend too much time with them, you'll start acting like them. But you weren't meant to stay grounded. You were meant to fly. That's why it's so important to surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you to be better, who remind you of what's possible. When you're around people with a vision, with drive, with faith, their energy will ignite something inside of you. You'll start believing in yourself at a higher level. You'll push past obstacles instead of giving up. You'll feel more motivated, more focused, more determined. Pay attention to the conversations you have. Do the people around you talk about possibilities, growth, and success? Or do they complain, criticize, and focus on everything that's wrong? Words are powerful. If you constantly hear negativity, it's going to affect your mindset. But when you hear encouragement, when people speak life over you, it fuels your motivation. Sometimes making the right connections means letting go of the wrong ones. Not everyone is meant to go where you're going. Some people were part of your past, but they're not meant to be part of your future. It doesn't mean you don't love them, but you have to be intentional about who you allow to influence your life. If someone is constantly draining your energy, bringing doubt into your mind, or keeping you stuck in old habits, it may be time to create some distance. Seek out people who inspire you. Find mentors who have walked the path you want to walk. Connect with friends who celebrate your success instead of resenting it. Be around those who lift you up, and you'll find that staying motivated becomes much easier. The right people will remind you of who you are. They'll push you when you feel like quitting, and they'll celebrate with you when you step into your breakthrough. Choose your circle wisely, because the people you surround yourself with will shape the future you step into. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces that can keep you motivated no matter what season of life you're in. When you live with a heart full of gratitude, it shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already working in your favor. It's easy to look at what's wrong, to dwell on what hasn't happened yet, or to focus on the challenges ahead. But when you choose to be grateful, you remind yourself that even in the midst of difficulties, there is still so much to be thankful for. Every morning when you wake up, before you check your phone, before you start thinking about everything on your to-do list, take a moment to simply be grateful. Thank God for another day, for the opportunities ahead, for the strength to keep going. When you start your day with gratitude, you set the tone for everything else. You'll feel more positive, more motivated, and more ready to tackle whatever comes your way. Gratitude is not just about the big things. It's about learning to appreciate the small moments. Waking up with breath in your lungs, having food on your table, a roof over your head, people who love you. When you focus on these blessings, it creates a fire inside of you, a joy that no circumstance can take away. You stop waiting for something big to happen before you feel happy, because you realize happiness is found in the present moment. It's easy to be grateful when everything is going right, but real gratitude shows up when things aren't perfect. Maybe you're facing challenges right now, dealing with setbacks, or waiting on a breakthrough. Even in those moments, you can still find something to be grateful for. When you keep the fire of gratitude burning, you train yourself to see the good, even in difficult times. You develop the mindset of a winner, someone who doesn't get discouraged by setbacks, but stays motivated because they know better days are ahead. Gratitude also fuels perseverance. When you're thankful for how far you've already come, it gives you the strength to keep going. Instead of focusing on how far you still have to go, look back at how much you've already overcome. Every challenge you've faced, every obstacle you've pushed through, it all proves that you are capable, that you are strong, and that you have what it takes. So make gratitude a daily habit. Write down 3 things you're grateful for every day. Speak words of thanksgiving over your life. When you feel discouraged, shift your focus to what's working instead of what's missing. Keep that fire of gratitude burning, and you'll find that motivation comes naturally. Because when you appreciate what you have, you open the door for even greater things to come your way. Your words have power. What you speak over your life will shape your future. Too often, people talk about what they see instead of what they want to see. They say things like, "I'll never get out of debt. I'm not smart enough. I'll always struggle," and then wonder why nothing changes. Well, but the truth is, your words are like seeds. What you plant in your heart and mind will eventually grow in your life. If you want to stay motivated, you have to start speaking words of faith. Even if you don't see it yet, declare it anyway. Say, "I am strong, I am capable, I am blessed. Doors are opening for me. My best days are ahead of me." When you speak these words, you're not just making empty statements. You are activating something inside of you. You're shifting your mindset, training your thoughts to align with possibility instead of limitation. Think about an architect designing a building. Before anything is built, they create a blueprint. That blueprint tells the builders exactly what to create. Your words are like that blueprint. Every time you speak something in faith, you are giving instructions for your future. If you keep saying, "I'll never get that promotion," you're laying a foundation for disappointment. But if you start saying, "I am talented, I am qualified, and the right opportunity is coming my way," you're laying a foundation for success. This is why you must be intentional with your words. Stop speaking defeat over your life. Stop agreeing with negativity. You may not feel strong, but say it anyway. "I am strong." You may not see the opportunity yet, but declare it. "New doors are opening for me." Maybe you're facing a challenge. Don't say, "I'll never get through this." Instead, say, "This is temporary. I am coming out stronger, wiser, and better." Words of faith also push out fear and doubt. When you start declaring that you are blessed, that you are favored, that you are stepping into new levels, fear begins to lose its grip. Doubt fades away. You begin to expect good things instead of worrying about what could go wrong. Make it a daily habit to speak faith over your life. First thing in the morning, before the negativity of the world tries to pull you down, declare, "Today is going to be a great day. I am equipped. I am chosen. I am stepping into divine favor. The more you speak these words, the more you'll believe them. And the more you believe them, the more you'll see them come to life. Your future is listening to what you're saying today. Speak words of faith and watch how your life begins to move in the direction of your declarations. Setbacks are a part of life, but they do not define you. Too often, people let a disappointment, a failure, or an unexpected delay convince them that their dreams are over. But just because you faced a setback doesn't mean you're defeated. It simply means you're being prepared for something greater. Every successful person, every great leader, every champion has faced obstacles. But the difference is they didn't let those obstacles define them. They used them as stepping stones to something better. Maybe you've been knocked down. Maybe you've tried and failed. Maybe something you were hoping for didn't work out the way you planned. It's easy to get discouraged, to start thinking, maybe this just isn't for me, maybe I'm not good enough, maybe it's never going to happen. But that's the moment you have to dig deep and remind yourself, this setback is not the end of my story. Setbacks are often setups for a greater comeback. Sometimes what feels like rejection is actually redirection. That opportunity that didn't work out, it might be because there's something even better on the way. That delay, it might be because you're being positioned for something you never even imagined. What seems like a loss today may turn out to be the best thing that ever happened to you. Think about a slingshot. Before it can launch forward, it has to be pulled back. The more it's pulled back, the farther it will go. That's how life works sometimes. When it feels like you're being pulled back, facing setbacks, challenges, disappointments, it's not because you're going backward, it's because you're being prepared to shoot forward into something greater. The key is to keep moving. A setback only becomes permanent if you stop trying. Don't let a moment of failure turn into a lifetime of regret. If you fall down, get back up. If a door closes, start looking for another one to open. If you feel like giving up, remind yourself why you started in the first place. Some of the greatest victories come after the toughest battles. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who never face difficulties, but the ones who refuse to let those difficulties stop them. So don't let that setback define you. Let it refine you. Let it strengthen you. Let it push you forward with even more determination than before. Because the truth is, this is not where your story ends. This is just a chapter. And the best chapters are still ahead of you. No matter what you've been through, no matter what obstacles you've faced, never stop dreaming big. Too many people shrink their dreams to fit their current circumstances. They let disappointments, delays, and setbacks convince them that they should settle for less than what's possible. But just because you haven't seen it happen yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Just because the journey has been tough doesn't mean the dream isn't worth pursuing. You weren't created to live a life of mediocrity. You weren't meant to just go through the motions, barely getting by, playing it safe. Deep down, you have dreams, things that excite you, visions that stir something inside of you, goals that may seem out of reach right now. That's not by accident. Those dreams were placed in your heart for a reason. They are part of your destiny. The problem is when life gets difficult, it's easy to let go of those dreams. You start thinking, maybe I was aiming too high. Maybe I should just be grateful for where I am and stop expecting more. But settling is not the answer. If you settle for less than what's possible, you'll always feel that tug inside of you, reminding you that there's more. The dream may not have happened yet, but if you keep believing, keep working, keep moving forward, doors will open, opportunities will come, and what once seemed impossible will become reality. Dreaming big doesn't mean you won't face challenges. It doesn't mean everything will happen overnight. But it does mean you refuse to let obstacles talk you out of what's possible. It means you see beyond where you are and believe that greater things are ahead. Think about the people who have changed the world, the great inventors, leaders, pioneers. They all had one thing in common. They dared to dream bigger than their circumstances. They refused to accept impossible as an answer. They didn't let setbacks stop them. And because they kept dreaming, they created things, built things, achieved things that impacted generations. That same potential is inside of you. Your dreams are not too big. Your goals are not too impossible. The only limits are the ones you accept. So don't let fear, doubt, or delays shrink your vision. Keep believing, keep pushing forward, and keep expecting the best. Because when you dare to dream big, you open the door to a life beyond anything you could ever imagine. There will be days when you don't feel like pushing forward. Days when the excitement is gone, the motivation is low, and the obstacles seem too big. But if you want to achieve your dreams, you can't let your feelings dictate your actions. Successful people don't wait until they feel like it, they take action anyway. Too often, people think they have to be inspired before they can move. They wait for the perfect mood, the perfect timing, the perfect circumstances. But the truth is, if you wait until you feel like taking action, you may never do it. Feelings are unpredictable. They change from day to day, even hour to hour. If you let them control you, you'll stay stuck in the same place, making excuses instead of making progress. You have to make a decision. I'm going to do what I need to do no matter how I feel. Champions don't always feel like training, but they show up anyway. Writers don't always feel like writing, but they sit down and do the work. Entrepreneurs don't always feel like putting in the extra hours, but they do it because they know the reward is worth the effort. Taking action, even when you don't feel like it, builds discipline. The more you push yourself to do what needs to be done, the easier it becomes. It turns into a habit. You stop relying on motivation and start relying on commitment. Think of it like working out. If you only exercise when you feel like it, you'll probably skip most days. But if you make a commitment, I'm going to work out no matter what, you'll push past those lazy moments and see real progress. The same applies to any area of your life. Maybe you don't feel like working on that project, but do it anyway. Maybe you don't feel like making that phone call, but do it anyway. Maybe you don't feel like waking up early, putting in the extra effort, or staying consistent, but do it anyway. Because when you push through, when you take action despite how you feel, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your emotions. The secret to staying motivated is not waiting for inspiration. It's developing the discipline to keep moving forward even on the tough days. And as you keep taking action, you'll start to notice something amazing. The feelings will eventually catch up. The more you do, the more inspired you'll become. The momentum will build, the progress will come, and before you know it, you'll be closer than ever to your dreams. One of the most powerful ways to stay motivated is to stay connected to your purpose. That deep reason behind why you do what you do. When you have a clear sense of purpose, you don't get easily discouraged by obstacles, delays, or setbacks. You don't quit just because things get hard. Purpose gives you the strength to keep going even when everything in you wants to give up. Too often, people lose motivation because they forget why they started in the first place. They get caught up in the routine, in the challenges, in the daily grind, and suddenly their passion fades. But when you stay connected to your purpose, you reignite that fire. You remind yourself that what you're working toward is bigger than the struggles of today. Maybe your purpose is to provide a better future for your family. Maybe it's to impact lives, to inspire others, to build something meaningful. Whatever it is, keep it at the forefront of your mind. When you wake up in the morning, remind yourself, this is why I'm doing this. When you face obstacles, tell yourself, this challenge is temporary, but my purpose is permanent. Purpose creates passion, and passion fuels perseverance. Think about the people who achieve great things. They don't do it because it's easy. They do it because they are deeply connected to a why that drives them forward. The greatest athletes, leaders, and visionaries push through difficulties because they know their purpose is bigger than their pain. If you ever feel like giving up, take a step back and reconnect with your purpose. Visualize your goals. See the impact of what you're working toward. Remind yourself that every step forward, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to the life you were meant to live. Your purpose is your anchor. It's what keeps you steady when life gets tough. Stay connected to it, and you'll find that motivation isn't something you have to chase. It's something that naturally rises within you. Trust the timing of your life. One of the hardest things to do in life is to be patient when things aren't happening as quickly as we want. We live in a world that celebrates speed, fast results, quick success, instant gratification. When we have a dream, a goal, or a vision for our future, we want it to happen now. But life doesn't always work that way. Sometimes things take longer than we expected. Sometimes doors don't open when we thought they would. Sometimes it feels like we're doing everything right, but we're still waiting for our breakthrough. In these moments, it's easy to get discouraged, to feel like we've been forgotten, or to start wondering if it's ever going to happen. But here's the truth. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Delay does not mean denial. Just because the dream is taking longer than you thought doesn't mean it's not in your future. Some of the greatest things in life require time, preparation, and the right season to unfold. Think about a seed planted in the ground. The moment it's planted, the process begins, but at first you don't see anything happening. Days go by, weeks go by, sometimes months, and there's still no visible sign of progress. If you didn't know better, you might think nothing is happening. But under the surface, beneath the soil, that seed is growing, taking root, preparing for the moment it will break through. The same is true for your dreams. Just because you don't see movement yet doesn't mean nothing is happening. Things are shifting behind the scenes. Doors are aligning. Skills are being developed. Connections are being made. If you rush the process, you may step into something before you're ready. But when you trust the timing of your life, you realize that every delay, every closed door, every waiting season is actually working for you, not against you. Think about how many times in life you wanted something to happen, but looking back, you can see that if it had happened earlier, you wouldn't have been ready for it. Maybe you needed to grow. Maybe you needed to develop more skills. Maybe you needed to meet the right people. Sometimes what looks like a delay is actually divine protection, keeping you from stepping into something before the time is right. It's easy to compare our journey to someone else's. We see others getting ahead, reaching their goals, achieving their dreams, and we wonder, why not me? What am I doing wrong? But your timing is different. You are on a unique path. What's meant for you will not pass you by. When the time is right, the opportunity will come, the door will open, and everything will fall into place. In the meantime, don't waste your waiting season. Keep growing, keep preparing, keep being faithful where you are. The most successful people aren't the ones who rushed the process. They're the ones who trusted it. They kept showing up, kept learning, kept believing, even when there was no visible sign of progress. Your time is coming. The right people, the right opportunities, the right doors, they are already on their way to you. So instead of worrying about when it's going to happen, start trusting that it will happen. And when it does, you'll realize that every delay, every challenge, every waiting season was all part of a bigger plan to bring you into something better than you ever imagined. So don't let impatience steal your joy. Don't let delays convince you that your dreams aren't possible. What's meant for you will come at the right time in the right way, and nothing can stop it. Instead of stressing over when it will happen, shift your focus to who you are becoming in the process. Every challenge is strengthening you. Every delay is refining you. Every step, even the ones that feel slow, is bringing you closer to your destiny. Your life is unfolding exactly as it should. Trust the timing. Keep believing, stay faithful, because when the right moment comes, when everything finally aligns, you'll look back and realize that every waiting season, every detour, and every unexpected turn was leading you to something greater than you ever imagined. Your time is coming. Keep the faith and keep moving forward.